Hey everybody, we're ready. Welcome back to a new episode of Teak and Me. We are actually on site this time in Sapulpa, Oklahoma.
Yep.
Here at Dancing Skeleton. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Alex, owner and founder of Dancing Skeleton Meadery.
And you guys have been going since 2020, if
Yes,
I remember
we
correctly.
became fully licensed in February of 2020 and have been on the market since September of 2020, right in the middle of COVID.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
It's around the time I was getting out.
And then you said you've been in this location since 22?
Yes, this originally was a production facility, and then we expanded and opened the tasting room 2 years after we first launched on the market.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So, where would you like us to start?
Let's start with the closest one to us.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so a little bit about our meads. All of our meads, except for one, are traditional meads, meaning just honey, water, yeast, maybe oak. Actually, all of ours, except for a couple of flavors, are oak. The one exception is a coffee mead. The ones we're starting with first, we've got 2 semi-sweets and 2 sweets. The flavor More Than Happy, made with clover honey, will have some cinnamon and brown sugar-like flavors.
Oh, okay. A little sweeter than I was expecting.
Yeah. I can taste a little bit of the cinnamon in the back, but it's I can tell that it's clover by the smell, which is, that's nice. It's very nice.
Next up is our Reserve Blend. This is a limited release made with over different honey varietals and barrel aged. This particular batch is red wine barrel aged.
Beautiful.
I believe a Cabernet Sauvignon out of California, if I'm not mistaken.
Getting fancy, huh?
Yeah, you can taste the barrel.
And that little bit
It's
of,
very nice.
like, that red wine bite right at the end there. That's awesome.
But it still tastes like a mead and not a cab, which is nice.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Thank you. Next up is Oklahoma Fall Harvest. This is a fall harvest honey, meaning summer flowers. Most honeys are typically spring flowers, spring blossoms, that sort of thing. And it's not real often that a beekeeper will get a fall harvest. Usually, if they get one, it'll be blended with spring honey. Fall harvest honey will have some fall spicy notes to it often. This particular batch has some cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, barley, sort of a vibe to it. And this one is made exclusively with a local Oklahoma honey.
Oh, wow. Nice and smooth and silky with a little bit of that bite. That's
delicious.
Thank you.
And what are yours coming in at normally range-wise?
So most of these are right around 12.25%.
Beautiful. Okay.
We have one that is about 15.5%. That one is the exception. Last up is St. Barnaby. St. Barnaby is made with star thistle honey. Star thistle is a flowering weed, also known as St. Barnaby's thistle. That's where the name came from. And this will have some flavors along the lines of pear and sage. Some people will get subtle notes of oregano. I personally don't, but some people do.
Interesting.
I think you tried a star thistle at one point.
We bought some star thistle honey at one point from a company in, Williamsburg, Virginia? I don't remember if it was Silverhand or if it was Winchester.
Star thistle honey is interesting in that it's really important to pair the right yeast with it to really get the best results. Most of the honey, in my opinion, will ferment nicely with any yeast. That one, you have the potential to make something that you're not going to enjoy very much and assume that it's just a lousy honey. But with the right yeast pairing, it can really shine.
See, and that's something I didn't know at all. We've been sending
We've just kind of been point blank barbarism style. You're just kind of throwing stuff together and hoping that it turns out. in some cases, and in other ones we follow a recipe and it either comes out the way we want it or it doesn't, and then we just turn it into something else.
Well, and there was the one you blew up.
Yeah, that was the habanero maple one that I was making for a friend. I didn't vent the bottle enough, and I went to go open it up, and it gave me a shower. And it ended up all over the entire kitchen and into the living room.
Okay, next up, we have Tropic of Libra made with orange blossom honey. Orange blossom honey is a very, probably the most common honey used for mead making in the United States. We use a heavy toast oak on that one to give it a kind of a light smoky finish.
You can taste it right at, like you were saying, right at the
Before the
end.
end,
And then that's almost extra sweet, orangey.
flavor that's there.
That's really good.
Is there any other kind of citrus that's added to that one?
No.
No?
We just
I would've thought there
we
was
choose
something.
a yeast that accents citrus notes.
I would've
Which
thought
is
there
kind of our
was something
secret sauce. If you look at the flavor descriptors of a particular honey varietal, you can also look at the flavor descriptors of what a yeast does, and if you pair the yeast to the honey, then the notes like citrus, or if you're getting peppery notes or something like that, if you really want to make them shine, then pairing the right yeast to those notes, you can really get more accent those flavor characteristics.
Learn something new every day.
Came to drink, and we got a science lesson too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think most of the time we just kind of use, what was it, Lavalier D24 or something?
Yeah.
Just so we get a consistent amount of alcohol by volume.
My absolute favorite experiment to do, and I was making mead for about 2 or 3 years before I started doing this, I also like doing this with beer as well, but start out with a big batch and split it into 4 or 5 small batches and a different yeast with each batch to see what what different yeasts do to that particular honey. And it's such a fun experiment to do. Plus, it forces you to sample 4 or 5 meads.
Oh shucks.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So that's part of the fun of the experiment.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And with beer as well, I'll do like 15-gallon batches of beer, and I'll split it into like 3 5-gallon batches, and each one with a different yeast. Like if I've got a recipe for, like, let's say a Belgian triple, I will use a Belgian yeast. Well, then the next one I might use a British yeast or a British ale yeast, and then the third one like a lager with a German or with a German lager yeast or something like that, just to see what the yeast is going to do to that base batch.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that yeast had such a big play in how it affects the flavor of a mead. I just assumed it was there to make booze.
Well, I guess we need to take over Becca's kitchen. She's gonna yell at us.
Yeah.
Next up, F2 Tornado. F2 Tornado is made with raspberry blossom honey. There's no raspberries in it, but the honeybees were around raspberry farms. And this honey has kind of a nice soft tartness on the back of the tongue, but not mouth puckering. So not too dissimilar from fresh raspberries.
Yeah, I would have sworn that there were raspberries in it.
Oh yeah, it comes through, and like you were saying, it's not super bitter, but it's enough of like
A nice tartness. It kind of draws you in for more.
And some people ask, why F2 Tornado, not F5 Tornado? First of all, there's already an Oklahoma beer called F5 IPA. But more specifically, that name actually came about, our fermenters are labeled F1, F2, F3 on up to F whatever. And that one was sitting in tank F2, and I was trying to think of a name for it, and Sapulpa was hit with an F2 tornado and tore up the street in front of our previous production facility. I was looking at the damage, and I heard that it was an F2 tornado, looked over at the tank, and I'm like, got your name, buddy.
There it is. There
Nice.
it is.
I always love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know,
the cool little stories that are behind the names.
Next up is Area 253. Area 253 is made with a Brazilian wildflower honey, and this particular mead will have flavors along the lines of apricot, mango, macadamia nut.
kind of reminds me of Oh, the finish is really, that's unique.
Some of these will have a finish that creeps in several seconds, especially as air crosses the tongue. The finish will wake up and.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I don't even know how to describe that. But I don't think we've had anything. Ready?
Yeah, I've never had anything. I don't think I've ever had anything that had a finish like that.
You just need to try it. I don't know how to even.
Yeah, I don't know where to begin with that.
Real smooth, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
I know I keep complimenting you, but
Yeah, that's really delicious.
you got me at a loss for words. Which, as he can attest, is kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
Last up is Find Your Thrill, made with blackberry blossom honey. That one was originally made with blueberry blossom honey, and then last year we went to order some, and our honey supplier didn't get a crop of blueberry blossom honey at all that year because of weather. And so we switched to blackberry blossom honey and discovered that we liked it better.
Oh, that's super light, real flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, we got people coming in.
Hello, come on in.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
As everybody knows, we are not professional at this
So
whatsoever.
we are in the area with you're doing a fundraiser. You have
That
brown butter, M&M's,
That's got
don't-
that fruitiness to it, but not overpowering.
Right.
But once again, I would swear you had fruit in there, but that, with it just being the blossom, that shows right there how much different honeys and different, as we've learned today, different yeasts can play a part in the flavor and the texture, and that's insane. And thank you so much.
That's incredible. I guess really the only question I have is, how did you figure out that the yeast had that kind of effect? Is it just something you just kind of discovered going through it?
I was listening to a podcast, and I think a fellow by the name of Ryan Carlson, I think he's out of Colorado, was talking on that subject, and he brought up a document from Scott Labs out of Canada called the Scott Labs Fermentation Handbook, where they've just got a list of a bazillion different yeasts, winemaking enzymes, and whatnot. And he said that if you taste a particular honey and you're getting notes of, I'm going to make something up like let's say licorice, and you want to accent that, search that document for the word licorice. And if you find a yeast that accents licorice notes, write that down on your list. And so whatever flavor notes that you're trying to accent, make yourself a list of those honeys that accent those characters. Then look at the temperature that you're able to reliably maintain for at least the first half of the fermentation process, and choose yeasts that are well suited for that temperature range. And your temperature range narrows down your list to maybe 1 or 2 yeasts, and that one is the winner.
Okay. Well,
I think that'll be really helpful for whenever we decide to make a little bit more nuanced stuff.
Yeah, instead of just getting drunk meads.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I think it'll really help if I go to remake that orange and chocolate one. I think it might help to nuance the orange and the chocolate a little bit more than what it was before.
Yeah, we'll have to do some more digging into it. But
Yeah.
so, your final thoughts, man?
Oh man. There's not really a whole lot that I can say. They're all very delicious. I think they're all very well made. You guys have been around for 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
This is incredible. As technical as you've kind of gotten it with the different yeasts being able to pull different flavors out is impressive.
Thank you. And that's really our secret sauce. We haven't invented anything. Just being more purist with our flavors, looking at the core ingredients, the yeast, the honey, and what we think is going to make for a nice pairing. Mm-hmm. And then most of our meads are oaked as well. If you haven't oaked meads before, it's a great way to take a sweet mead and dry out the finish just a little bit so it doesn't stay syrupy on the palate.
Okay.
And we are about to get a little bit of a preview. This
we
is
have a
Desiree.
surprise.
Hello. This is our bochet, which is made from a caramelized honey. It's not 100% caramelized, but that's about half of it is caramelized. And
Okay.
it gives it this really nice, rich caramelly character. And then it was back sweetened with a clover honey that tastes remarkably like meadow foam honey, which is kind of a marshmallow.
Oh wow! You taste
that's
that
delicious.
caramelization, that little cook on there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That is
The Bochet is a special release that is only available to members of our bottle club called the Bone Collectors Guild.
That is a sick name.
We have two different tiers. We have a Sugar Skull tier and a Crystal Skull tier. The Crystal Skull you get, or the Sugar Skull you get 3 bottles per quarter. The Crystal Skull you get 3 bottles a month.
we have another club.
Added to our list.
Either pick up in the Meadery or ship to your door. Any state that allows direct-to-consumer shipping.
That's Missouri.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I guess.
Well, and the other upside is that we're only 3 hours away.
Well, you're
ish.
3, I'm 4.
Yeah.
So,
So
well,
nice little kind of boring trip down.
yeah, we gotta drag back down.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess as always, be great to one another.
drink responsibly.
So.
Skøl.
Oh.
I have one more for you guys to try.
Oh, I guess we're not done.
Another special release only available to Bottle Club members.
Oh no.
Let me twist your arm there.
And how might someone go about joining the club?
Go to dancingskeletonmeadery.com.
There you go. And
Fantastic.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still in the reserve. That was pretty.
That's okay. I think I'm gonna finish this blackberry one. I know there's not a whole lot left in there, but
And then you guys also do ciders, correct?
Yes, the ciders are tasting room exclusive. We have different flavors that we rotate through. The ciders are chilled, carbonated, a little bit lower ABV, so more sessionable beverage. Also in the Meadery, we make some dry red wines, and then we serve some craft beers from one of the local breweries. We make everything except for the beers. And so we have something for most palates.
Oh yeah.
fantastic.
I'm almost there.
You're good. We're what, 15, 20 minutes from Tulsa? Am I correct?
About 10 minutes.
So if you're coming through, especially if you're coming down Route 66, it is the 100th anniversary, so come on down and I'm sure they're
Check
not
them
going to
out.
mind a little extra foot traffic. You know, that's kind of half the idea of why we did this.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets us out of the house. It gets us out of Missouri for a little bit. Get to see some other places.
Oh, and we're at about 160 stores across Oklahoma and Arkansas right now. Actually, about 165 stores today.
Oh, nice.
Oklahoma, we are all over. We are in most of the state. We're not in the southern parts, closer to the Texas state line yet, in the far western. But we are actually even in the Panhandle. And in Arkansas, we're in about 15, 18 stores in northwest Arkansas, and a couple in Fort Smith and a couple in Little Rock.
Beautiful. So if you're in those areas, look at your local.
Look in your local liquor stores.
Yeah, there's the word.
If they don't ask them to carry it.
Yeah, yeah. Bug them about it because the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
So, so what we're going to talk about next is another special release. This is called Tej. Tej is an traditional Ethiopian mead recipe made with a plant called gesho. Traditionally, the gesho plant does have natural wild yeast in it, and historically the way they make it is just put the branches in the mixture of honey and water and let it ferment that way and drink it. That's a slow process. We use traditional wine yeast and are using the gesho for flavor, not for the fermentation aspect of it. Also, wild yeast you're subject to get something that's got that funky sour to it, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, that's what we keep running into is the sourness, and we have
Yeah.
back sweet.
Sometimes there's a weird like bread flavor that you just can't get around.
That will age out, or should age out.
Ooh, we need to try the ones in the refrigerator because it's been sitting for about 2 years now. You need to sip that.
Okay.
it's got like this coffee-y, earthy flavor to it. That's
Yeah. Eric said it reminded him of sandalwood.
yeah. I like that comparison. Kind of a sandalwoody.
Middle Eastern kind of a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's delicious.
A little bit of a history lesson. Mead, as many people know, mead is the oldest known form of an alcoholic beverage. There's archaeological evidence of fermented honey that's over 10,000 years old. And mead kind of died off in popularity around the Middle Ages when they figured out that grapes was cheaper to cultivate than honey. And for a long time, the only people that were really drinking it was the aristocracy who could afford it and beekeepers. Two exceptions was Poland and that general region, and Ethiopia. It stayed a popular beverage all through the Middle Ages when it kind of faded into obscurity. There's a lot of historical records about mead, though. One of the more famous ones, but more famous authors. There's a published mead recipe written by Martha Washington.
We need to try that.
Yeah, that's good world.
See, this is great. We get a chemistry lesson, we get a history lesson, we get to drink. We need to come here more often.
That's for sure.
Well,
I know some of you probably can't see the bag, but we'll make sure to take pictures and post it on our Instagram. It's under the same name, so if you aren't already looking at that, please give us a follow or share it with your friends.
oh, do you ship to Ohio?
We're about. Hang on, she's looking.
Jim, Matt, I'm looking in for you. I've got family in Ohio.
Yeah, it's
So.
not on this.
Don't worry about it. They can look it up. You guys are resourceful. You can figure it out. Well, anyway, let's try this again.
I guess, again, as always, be great to one another.
Drink responsibly.
Skøl.
Skøl.
Skull.
Oh, you hit it out of the park on all of them.
Yeah.